All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise and glory unto you. How about Shema Shah by Shema Hakodash, the bonus of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akimata pushing the word of sincerity and truth. Yeah, I just wanted to do a biblical map overview. Some brothers that come to my attention, can't fully discern, or they can, to a certain extent, biblical locations and sons and things of that nature. Genesis, the 10th chapter, deals with different sons. And you have the book of Chronicles. Of course, all throughout the scriptures in Genesis, you have these set locations where the tribes spring out of. You have the sons of Shem, of course. And you have, of course, Japheth, which Japheth is the Pacific Islanders. They're not Edomites. They didn't start off as Edomites. They're the islanders that got that land taken from Esau. In First Maccabees, the first chapter, speaks about, Edom actually going to war, with through Alexander's father, Philip of Macedon. He took over that area, towards the north. That's why it says history started with the Greeks. Really, that's when Esau started to put his hand and the earth and start to dominate as a certain kingdom. So all this of the north, this European region, which is Japheth. Then you have Aram. Of course, you have Nimrod, Elam, which is the East Indians, and that's modern day Iraq. When you look at Babylon, Babylon is modern day Iraq, all right? So you have the Shem, you have, the different locations of the south, Sheba, Uzai, the different sons. Then you have, of course, going towards Africa, the land of Kemet, which is Hum, which is hot in the Hebrew, all right, hot land. And when you're looking at term Africa, it's without cold. Africa, when you look it up, is not cold or without cold, And Lord, we're not gonna put that in the group. I'm gonna put that in the comment section. But going back to the map, of course, you have the North Africans, which is Foot. You see, then you have Mizraim, which is modern day Egypt. And just like Apostle Tahar says, when you go into actually Arab subscriptions dealing with Egypt, they would call them Muzra. All right. And that's, of course, the Middle East. And you have Cush, which is modern day Ethiopian. Those Ethiopians are Cushites, Like I said, of course, Foot North, Mizraim, you got Cush, which is the Ethiopians, and you got Canaan, which is the South Africans. And these sons went, of course, more westward. And, of course, you got Kittim, which is modern-day Cyprus, And, it's good to know these maps. Javan, which is Greece, Actually knowing these different locations in the spirit and understanding the backdrop of what happened in these different times in these different locations. Because the scriptures give you that. It gives a lot of history in these different lands. So when you see these different lands on the map, you will actually have a, of course, idea, which, brothers do, but certain brothers to a certain extent don't really understand how the map actually comes together. But it's you have to study these things. The scriptures speak about an unction, which I'm going to get. 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Yeah. And you see, even it also tells you in Psalms 49 chapter 11 verse, how Esau is going to actually inhabit these lands and change their names. When Esau got into power dealing with the Greeks, they started to change names, redirect history. And that's why a lot of these lands are called something different. Because it's mainly when Esau got into power, all right? Matter of fact, let me get that. And that's why it also scriptures speak about how the hidden things of Esau searched out. It's the hidden things of Esau are searched out by the prophets, the men of Yahweh Shema Shah, doing their research, searching back. This is Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Yeah. Like I was just, you have, of course, Europe, and within Europe, you have France, and you have all these different kingdoms that's overran and taken over by the Edomites, and Esau puts his name in all these different lands like it's his lands. Those aren't the bounds that was given unto Esau. The bounds that were given unto Esau is Mount Seir, which he stole that land from the Horites. So, through the Spirit, I just really wanted to go into that, go into these different, go into the map and the history through the Spirit. Lord willing, I might go through a few more, go into the backdrop of these different maps and certain occurrences, So hopefully brothers are edified. I'm going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shema, Kakodash, the daughters of the apostle and elders of the great millstone, and Shalom, Akim. And also dealing over here in this Gog Magog area, I was going to close up, but I just want to say that with dealing with Japheth, that's modern day Russia, like I was saying, and they're going to actually make war with the beast. All right. And they're going to actually shoot missiles on the beast. That's why it tells you that in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, with Gog and Magog, Togarmah, Meshach, Tubal. When you look up that term, Magog, it deals with Rosh, which is where Russia springs out of. And they're going to actually fight this battle, which is in the valley of Jehoshaphat, that actual Middle East, which they call the actual Middle Eastern choke point. So, hopefully brothers are edified, man, about giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shema, Kodash. All right. The abundance of apostle and others, great millstone. Shalom, Akim.